gather in the Confield courtyard of Ashesi University, where tonight His Excellency the President has designated the Vice President to do a very important job on behalf of the administration. Throughout and His Excellency the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Let's hear a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome up on stage here at the David Acha and Linda Cornfield Courtyard, the President of Ashesi University and His Excellency the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Mr. Patrick Ewua, and Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Let's hear it for the President and the Vice President one more time, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, all right.
So I'm going to hand over to you shortly.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll yield the podium to our host, the President of Ashesi University. Patrick, we're in your hands.
Thank you. Good evening, Your Excellency, Vice President of Ghana, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, honorable ministers, Nananum, distinguished guests, and the Ashesi community. I want to wish you a very warm welcome to our campus. We're really thrilled to have His Excellency here with us this evening to talk about digital transformation in Ghana. I thought I'd spend just a few minutes to introduce the Vice President, and what we want to do this evening is to just have a conversation about the future of our country, especially around digitalization. So it's going to be a lot of just a fireside chat, but we've asked the Vice President to first share his vision for digital transformation in our country. And then we will sit together. I'll ask him a few questions and then open up to questions from the audience, and we will prioritize students for the Q&A. So in introducing the Vice President, we all know who he is, and you can search the web and find his biography. So I'm not going to go through the details of that, but just share a few key points from the Vice President's biography. He was born in Tamale and was educated through secondary school here, and then traveled to the United Kingdom and Canada for his education. Got bachelor's, master's, and PhD in economics. Taught in the United States for a few years, and then importantly returned home to help with development. And I think this is a very important message for our students, for our alumni. I know some of you are out there in Europe and the US who are joining us this evening online. Come back home at some point, just like the Vice President did. And when he returned, he went to work at the Bank of Ghana, started as a senior economist, and then within 6 years was a deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana, which is an astonishing accomplishment for such a short period. He was named the running mate to Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, current president of Ghana. The vice president was his running mate in 2008. He was only 45 years old, relatively young. And it speaks to, when you really execute a certain way and you're recognized for the contributions you're making to your society, the things that can happen. Lost that first election, and went on to do a number of activities all around the world, here on the continent, in the UK. He served in capacities advising in Sierra Leone and Zimbabwe. And he was also a university professor, a visiting professor at Central University here in Ghana. In 2017, Vice President Bawumia was sworn in as the 7th Vice President of Ghana under the Fourth Republic. And in that capacity, really oversaw the rollout of the most advanced mobile money interoperability system on the continent, oversaw the world's largest medical drone system, a paperless system at our ports, was sworn in again as Vice President earlier this year, and continues to be a tremendous champion for a digital economy. And it's really very remarkable to see someone at the highest levels of government really promote digital technology. And I have watched with quite a bit of admiration. And Mr. Vice President, as you know, I returned from a career in the US at Microsoft to Ghana. And one of the things that really struck me while I was there was I was in the company for 8 years. And within that period, I joined the company when I was at number 3,000 and something employee. By the time I left, it was 30,000 people. But the annual revenues of Microsoft had grown larger than the GDP of Ghana. And it was a really remarkable thing for me as a young person to see happen. And I felt that, digital technology and that transformation in technology had great potential. And the work that I'm doing here with Ashesi University is educating that, with my team, educating a new generation that's going to really drive that transformation. And so we're absolutely thrilled to have you here, especially given your focus in this area. On that note, I'd like to invite you to come share with us a little bit your vision, and then we'll just sit down and have a conversation. Welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Patrick, for those kind words. The founder and president of Ashesi University, Patrick Awia, ministers of state, members of parliament. I've also seen my own chief of staff, Frima Opari, senior minister or senior presidential advisor, governor of the Bank of Ghana, deputy governor, members of the diplomatic corps, deans and faculty and staff of Ashesi University, distinguished invited guests, listeners and viewers from across the country and abroad, students, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very, very much for the opportunity to speak at Ashesi University this evening. This is one of the leading and most sought after universities in Africa. This is a world-class university. Congratulations to the founder, and President Patrick Awia, and to the faculty and staff and students for such an accomplishment in under 2 decades. Today, I'll be speaking about our economy. Notwithstanding the devastating impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the global economy, with increasing prices, declining government revenues, increasing debt levels, and so on, we have achieved so much over the past 5 years. This includes creating more jobs in our first term than any other first-term government since 1992, reducing inflation from 15% to near single digits, achieving the lowest exchange rate depreciation for any first-term government since 1992. We've recorded positive trade balances in 4 successive years. This is the best in more than a decade. We have the lowest average bank lending rate since 1992, thanks to the Bank of Ghana. We are safeguarding food security and the fight against hunger through planting for food and jobs. And we are stimulating industrialization from the ground up through one district, one factory. In fact, we have more factories have been set up under our government than under any other government since independence. In addition to these indicators of the macroeconomy, we have established development authorities. We have one constituency, one ambulance, the Zongo Development Fund, and we've managed the COVID-19 pandemic by world-class standards. We've also introduced free TVET and free SHS, and much more. There is a lot to say about these, but tonight I want to focus my remarks on how we are transforming Ghana's economy through digitalization, because it is important that we highlight the critical nature of digitalizing the economy and how it underpins the reforms that the citizenry expects of government. We can only build a vibrant modern nation if we have strong systems and institutions. Otherwise, we will be stuck in a vicious cycle of rhetoric and underdevelopment. Under the leadership of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, we have focused on pursuing digitalization as part of our economic strategy. Because the 4th industrial revolution is upon us, and we must be part of the modern world. Also, there is a growing body of empirical evidence that illustrates the capacity of digital technology to create jobs, significantly boost productivity, increase income, and support wealth creation. For example, the World Economic Forum's Global Information Report estimates that an increase of 10% in a country's digitalization score fuels 0.75% growth in GDP per capita. It is therefore clear that going forward, countries that fail to digitalize their economies are likely to be uncompetitive in the emerging global digital revolution. Therefore, when we assumed office in 2017, we asked the following questions. How prepared is Ghana to compete in the emerging global digital revolution? Have we got in place the key pillars that would enable our economy to participate in the emerging digital revolution? Is the system we have fit for purpose? Ladies and gentlemen, the first thing to note in talking about the digital revolution is that it is a data revolution. The Economist magazine in 2017 put it this way, and I quote, "The world's most valuable resource is no longer oil, but data," end quote. Data is as important in this 4th industrial revolution as oil discoveries were for countries decades ago. Data is the basic requirement for participation in the emerging digital revolution. But it was clear when we assumed office that the system underpinning the operation of Ghana's economy was not designed for a data-driven economy. The system had major shortcomings and presented challenges for digitalization of the economy. the key enablers for digitalization were not in place. And these challenges included the citizens and residents could not be uniquely identified. It is possible to be born in Ghana, to live a full life, to die and be buried, and there would be no trace of you on any documentation that you ever lived and died in this country. There is also, as we looked at it, the inefficiency and corruption in the delivery of public services. In the day-to-day interactions of Ghanaians, whether in applying for driver's license, passports, and any other form of government permit or license at the local or national level, corruption has been so ingrained that bribe taking and giving are often tolerated to the point of being considered as normal behavior. We also had a lack of a functional national property address system. And you know that no modern economy can function without an address system. There was the existence of the large informal sector and the dominance of cash in payments. We also had financial exclusion and so many people not being able to have access to financial accounts and services. Our government databases are largely manual and not integrated. And there was the difficulty in this large informal economy of ours of collecting taxes for development. The vast majority of the population do not file to pay taxes. And when they do not file to pay taxes, there's no way of finding out because you don't have the data. We also had a lot of inefficiency in the delivery of health and education services. All the challenges I have just described so far are symptomatic of a disconnect between the government machinery on the one hand and the lives of ordinary people on the other. The system frustrates rather than helps ordinary people. That is how the system works. The question to ask, ladies and gentlemen, is why is it that after over 60 years of independence in Ghana, after all the years of IMF and World Bank programs, all the foreign aid, all the development assistance, the system remained basically the same, or in some cases got worse. In 2010, that's 11 years ago, and some 7 years before we came into government, I addressed this question in the conclusions of a book that I published on monetary policy and financial sector reform in Africa. I noted in this book that international development is a competitive game. But unlike the game of football, where the rules are clearly defined for all participants, not all the rules of international development are written down. Putting in place a unique identification number for the population, a unique address system, and financial inclusion are just some of the key unwritten rules for efficient economic development. The focus, ladies and gentlemen, of economic management by successive governments in Ghana has been on crisis management. As a result of factors such as the collapse historically of commodity prices, increase in oil prices, debt unsustainability, political instability, macroeconomic instability, and so on. We have focused on crisis management. Governments, by and large, have not focused on the underlying system that underpins economic activities. I therefore concluded in the book that digitalization was the path to modernizing and transforming the Ghanaian economy and African economies in general. The goal upon assumption of office was to quickly transform our economy by leveraging on the technological innovations as a means to leapfrog the development process, overcome the legacy problems, and improve both economic and public sector governance. This is why digitalization has been a major focus of the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo government. Unfortunately, many people still do not appreciate the link between digitalization and economic development. I've heard some people even ask why I have abandoned economics for digitalization. Far from abandoning economics, the reality is that in this era of the fourth industrial revolution, if you don't digitalize your economy, you will not have much of an economy left, period. A few days ago, the World Bank President, David Malpass, at the recently concluded G20 summit, stated, and I quote, "Without digitalization, we won't be able to reap the full benefits of human progress." This is the World Bank President. That without digitalization, we will not be able to reap the full benefits of human progress. This statement is a validation of why Ghana has rightly focused on digitalization in the last 5 years. Ghana has actually been ahead of the curve on digitalization. Our strategy since 2017 has been to build a new system through digital transformation. What are the elements of this new system for digital transformation? We set out, under the direction of the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, we set out to build a system with unique identification numbers for the population, a system with addresses for all properties and locations, a system that is transparent and promotes accountability, a system that is inclusive, a system that provides efficient public services delivery and tackles corruption, a system that improves efficiency in the health and education sectors, and a system that provides financial inclusion and a cash-light economy. Finally, a system that enhances domestic revenue mobilization or tax collection. I will now come to how we have used digitalization to solve these problems, because the task we set ourselves to build this new system was a quite heavy task. And we opted for digitalization as the instrument or the tool to pursue the building of this new system. So how is digitalization addressing the issue of a unique identity for the population? On coming into office, we quickly moved with the issuance of the biometric national ID cards, the Ghana card, to the population. The Ghana card project was initiated by President Kufuor, but was practically abandoned for 8 years. We revived the process. So far, 15.7 million people have been enrolled on the Ghana card by the NIA, and most of them will be enrolled, most of the population will be enrolled by next year. With the Ghana card, the identity of people, even dead people, can be established using their fingerprints. Ghanaian and other embassies abroad will be able to establish the identity of Ghanaians using fingerprints. Identity can be established even without the Ghana card. As long as you are enrolled on the database and you put your fingers on the application, you can be verified. It is not widely known, ladies and gentlemen, that the Ghana card is also an e-passport that contains biometric information that can be used to authenticate the identity of travelers. The government, since this year, has been working with the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO, to globally activate the e-passport function of the Ghana card. And I'm happy to announce that on 13th October this year, the Ghana officially became the 79th member of the International Civil Aviation Organization Public Key Directory Community. Ghana's country signing certificate authority would therefore soon be imported into the PKD system through what is known as a key ceremony. The key ceremony for Ghana will be held at ICAO headquarters in Montreal before the end of the first quarter of 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, what does all this mean? This means that by the end of the first quarter next year, the Ghana card will be recognized globally as an e-passport and can be read and verified in all ICAO compliant borders. That is 197 countries, 44,000 airports in the world. When this happens, holders of the Ghana card will be allowed to board any flight to Ghana. Furthermore, the good news for diasporan Ghanaians is that when the Ghana Immigration Service is linked to the NIA architecture, and that will be soon, diasporan Ghanaians who hold the Ghana card should not have to obtain visas to return to Ghana. And the Ghana card project, we're quite proud to say, was implemented by the NIA and a local Ghanaian company. It's a world-class company. And this is Margins, IMS, and we're proud of them. Secondly, how is digitalization solving the problem of a property address system for Ghana? Ladies and gentlemen, the absence of an address system in Ghana has resulted in an address system based on landmarks. And this is not only in Ghana, it's in many African countries. You are seeing on the screen a cartoon that was sent to me by a friend from South Africa. I think that was yesterday. They were doing some voting for municipal elections, and he was a bit frustrated with the issues of finding places. So this cartoon, this is from South Africa, says they're directing this woman to a voting station. It says, pass the disused clinic, go around the best pipe, cross the potholes, left at the crack house, right at open toilets, you can't miss it. So this is the direction by address system by landmarks. Okay, in Ghana, we will say, pass the cocoa cellar, the blue house, the yellow house to the right and whatever. But it's the same landmark address system. To solve this problem of a lack of a working address system in Ghana, we have leveraged on GPS technology to implement a digital address system for Ghana, capturing every square inch of land in Ghana. In the process, the Land Use and Spatial Planning Authority, LUSPA, has identified 7.5 million properties in Ghana across the villages, towns, and cities. 7.5 million properties. And we have provided all these with street names, house numbers, and digital addresses. And right now we are in the process, LUSPA is in the process of affixing the address plates to all these properties. It's ongoing. It's a major achievement for Ghana. We engaged with Google last year. We engaged Google last year with a request to integrate our digital address system into Google Maps. I know all of you students, when you go to look for a location, you immediately go on WhatsApp and get to Google Maps and forward it and so on. We said to Google that we wanted to integrate our digital address system into Google Maps. They did their due diligence, and this year they agreed for us to do so. So we will do so by the end of the year. So when you enter, once it is done and you enter and put the address of any property or the digital address, Google Maps will take you there. The digital address system, again, was executed by LUSPA, the Ghana Post, and in collaboration with a local Ghanaian IT firm. How is digitalization addressing financial inclusion and the dominance of cash payments? One of the biggest problems that was impeding financial sector development in Ghana is the issue of financial exclusion. This means that most of the population is excluded from fully participating in the financial system because they are unable to open and operate bank and financial services accounts. And this reinforces the dominance of cash payments. When we assumed office in 2017, we decided to use digitalization to solve this problem. The data showed that about 70% of people in Ghana had no bank accounts, but about 80% of the population, adult population, had mobile phones, and they had 30 million mobile money accounts. It was also not possible at that time to send money to customers of different mobile money service providers. So we asked the following questions. Why can't we make it possible to send mobile money across different mobile money service providers? And also, why can't mobile money, the mobile money account function just like a bank account by making it interoperable with bank accounts? The answer to these questions was the implementation of the groundbreaking mobile money interoperability system by the Bank of Ghana and the Ghana Interbank Payment and Settlements Services. Mobile money interoperability has made it possible to transfer money seamlessly between different service providers and also between a bank account and a mobile wallet. And because the mobile money account performs just like a bank account, as a result of mobile money interoperability, we have practically solved the problem of financial exclusion in Ghana. I should note that Ghana is the first country in Africa and one of the few in the world to achieve this type of interoperability between bank accounts and mobile wallets. Even in the United States of America, the Federal Reserve Bank does not have interoperability in its real-time payments network. The American Bankers Association, in a letter to the Federal Reserve in September 2021, called on the Fed to strive towards interoperability with the real-time payment network. Therefore, achieving mobile money interoperability in Ghana is no small feat, especially at the cost we did it. The data shows that because of mobile money interoperability, Ghana is also the fastest growing mobile money market in Africa. Banks are also responding to the competition for the unbanked from the mobile money service providers. Next month, all banks in Ghana will launch the bank-wide mobile money wallet, which will be available to customers and non-customers through a mobile app. It is similar to other mobile apps from Vodafone, Airtel, Tigo, or MTN. The users of the app will be able to move money from any bank or mobile money account into this wallet. I think this will bring a healthy amount of competition between the mobile money service providers and the banks for the mobile money business. Ladies and gentlemen, today, the payment system reforms we have put in place as a country has made it very easy to open a traditional bank account. For many banks now, anyone can open a bank account remotely through their mobile phones without even visiting the branch or filling out forms. Clients need only a valid national ID card and no documentation. You dial a USS code, put in your national ID card number, and pronto, a bank account is open for you. This is progress. As stated, in the informal sector, which is dominated by cash payments, most merchants are reluctant to accept other forms of payment for reasons of cost and convenience. To address these challenges, the Bank of Ghana and the Ghana Interbank Payment and Settlement Services recently rolled out a universal QR code that allows all merchants and service providers as well as individuals to receive payments instantly on their mobile phones, as customers can just scan the QR code or dial a USSD for those who have YAM phones. The universal QR code is very conducive for merchants because all they need is the mobile phone. They don't need a point of sale device, and when payment is made, it goes into their Momo or their bank account instantly, and they will receive an alert instantly. While QR code payments exist across the world, universal QR code systems, where all the banks, all the mobile companies, all the fintechs are on one platform with interoperability between mobile money accounts and bank accounts, is a rarity. We don't really have many of such examples. Ghana, again, is the first in Africa to implement such a universal QR code payment system. To deepen the digitalization process, the Bank of Ghana has started the process to launch a central bank digital currency, the ECD, next year. The ECD is simply a digital form of the physical CD in circulation. It is legal tender, issued and backed by the central bank. It is not a cryptocurrency. With the digital currency, citizens will hold currency in the form of a digital wallet. And when the ECD is fully adopted, and I am sure with the governor and his team in place, they will work to have it fully adopted in the next few years. When it is fully adopted, ladies and gentlemen, the incidence of fake or counterfeit currencies and bullion van robberies will be a thing of the past. Just imagine this country in just a few years. Ghana is at the frontier of payment systems development. There's no doubt about that. Ghana is at the frontier of payment system development. Thanks to the hard work of the Bank of Ghana and all stakeholders, I can confidently say that today, Ghana has one of the most advanced and most inclusive payment system architectures in Africa. No doubt about that. The digital payments infrastructure is boosting e-commerce in Ghana. Businesses are booming over the Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and so on. And many people who cannot afford to rent or build shops are able to do business on the internet at little cost, with deliveries held by the digital address system and payments made using mobile money interoperability. Ladies and gentlemen, how is digitalization addressing the issue of efficient public service delivery and corruption? Our approach to improving the delivery of public services is to minimize human contact as much as possible. Therefore, we embarked on an aggressive digitalization of the process of service delivery across public institutions with coordination from my office. Look at the passport office. We went to the passport office. Digitalization of the passport office was done. Before 2017, applications for passports required that the applicant complete a paper form in pen and submit it to the passport office either personally or upload it online in PDF format to begin the process. It was therefore still a manual process. Following digitalization, passport applications are now online, and there's no need for middlemen or guru boys or for the payment of bribes to obtain a passport. The average turnaround time for the acquisition of passports has been significantly reduced, and today you can apply for your passport at home on your mobile phone, and it can also be delivered to you at home using a courier using the digital address that you have given. This is a marked difference from what used to be the case. Then we went for digitalization at the ports. Previously, the bureaucracy in clearing of goods at Ghana's ports involved a lot of paperwork and used to be largely manual. This caused delays, corruption, inefficiencies, frustration, and loss of revenue to government. Many citizens who had cleared goods at the country's ports had horror stories about their experiences at the port. The introduction of a paperless system, which we did after 2017, has reduced the layers and simplified the process. It has reduced the time needed to clear goods and the avenues for corruption, and increased efficiencies and revenue mobilization. We went then to digitalize the Drivers and Vehicle Licensing Authority. The DVLA offers two traditional services: driver licensing and vehicle registration. These services have been fully digitized. With digitalization of the driver's license in 2019, the DVLA experienced an increase in service by 109%. So you see that a lot of people were applying online and getting their licenses. With digitalization, there are no middlemen or guru boys, or there's no need for bribes to be paid to obtain a driver's license or register a vehicle. Due to the digitalization, a client no longer waits for several months to receive his or her license, but now they can get their license in one day once all the requirements are met. Ladies and gentlemen, we then moved on to the Moto Insurance Database. The National Insurance Commission has also implemented the Moto Insurance Database. The objective of the introduction of the Moto Insurance Database is to curb the menace of vehicles with fake motor insurance stickers plying our roads, thus endangering the lives and property. With digitalization of motor insurance in Ghana, all insurance policies which now have key security features have been synchronized to a national database, which can be accessed simply with a mobile phone by the insured, the police, and the general public. Members of the public can also self-check the authenticity of their insurance policy. All you have to do is dial *920*57# and follow the instructions, and thereafter you will know the insurance status of the vehicle. So if you're about to board a vehicle and you want to check, you dial *920*57# and put in the vehicle, the license plate, and it will tell you whether this vehicle has insurance or not, so that you can make your decision. Then we moved on. Again, the motor insurance database, I don't know of any other African country that has put together this motor insurance database. Ghana is the first to do so. Then we move on to digitalize the births and deaths registry. Easily one of the most depressing visits I have paid to a government office during my time as Vice President was to the births and deaths registry headquarters. There are hardworking people there, but there clearly was insufficient investment in the institution. It was messy, it was chaotic, and it was sad. It turned out, after we engaged the births and deaths registry, that they had 3 separate databases for births and deaths registers. And none of these 3 separate databases were talking to each other. They were sitting in silos. It is therefore not surprising that corruption and fake birth certificates thrived in this environment. Thankfully, the process of digitalization of records at the births and deaths registry is almost complete, and the 3 databases have been merged into one database and cleaned up. Furthermore, we are integrating the births and deaths register with the databases of the Ghana Health Service, the National Identification Authority, the Ghana Statistical Service, Immigration, and the police, so that the record of births and deaths should be consistent across all these organizations. Starting next year, ladies and gentlemen, every newborn child will because we are linking the births and deaths with the NIA and the Ghana Health Service, every newborn child will within a month be issued with a national ID number. And so when you are issued at birth, you will have your national ID number, and that will be your number until death. But you can only be issued a card when your biometrics are fully formed. That is after you are 6 years old and going. Then you will get a card. But for now, you will have a paper card to give you your national ID number, which you will use all the way in life. We also moved to, and I'd like to thank the Ghana Statistical Service for providing 13,000 tablets to the Ghana Health Service to use for this exercise. We then moved to digitalize the Scholarship Secretariat. In the past, candidates applying for scholarships usually had to travel from all parts of Ghana to Accra to take part in the application process. This caused a great deal of inconvenience for applicants seeking government sponsorships. The manual processes of the Scholarship Secretariat in an inefficient administration of scholarships in the country. With digitalization of the Scholarship Secretariat, candidates can now apply for scholarships from the comfort of their homes, take an aptitude test, and be interviewed in their own districts. Then we moved on to implement the Ghana.gov platform. To make it easy to access government services, government has also launched the Ghana.gov Portal, which is a one-stop shop for accessing government services. All government institutions are expected to be on the Ghana.gov platform by the end of this year. All government institutions. This means that you should be able to apply for and obtain any government service online through the Ghana.gov platform. The mobile Ghana.gov app is now available on Google Play Store and Apple App Store. So I encourage everybody, because you will find this very useful in dealing with all government institutions. Everybody on their mobile phone should download the Ghana.gov app. This is going to be your interface with government. If you don't have a smartphone, you can still interface with government on your YAM phone through the USSD. So nobody will be left out. With the Ghana.gov platform, all payments to government on the platform will go directly into government accounts. It also provides a feedback feature, to enable users to report problems with public services to the relevant authorities. Again, the Ghana.gov platform, when we decided to put it together, was implemented by the Ghana Revenue Authority again in collaboration with a consortium of Ghanaian IT firms. Just fantastic group of firms that have put this platform together. It's a world-class platform. How is digitalization addressing the issue of domestic revenue mobilization? This has been a headache. Ghana has a major challenge in the area of domestic revenue mobilization. The tax to GDP ratio is 14.3%. Compared, that is in Ghana, our tax to GDP ratio is 14.3%. In South Africa is 27%. And in the OECD or the advanced economies is 34%. So most adults in Ghana are outside the tax net and compliance is very low. At the beginning of 2017, only 4% of the adult population had tax identification numbers. Only 4%. So broadening the tax net is very imperative. In this regard, a number of digital initiatives have been implemented to broaden the tax base and to increase and to create a vehicle for domestic revenue mobilization. To increase the number of people with tax identification numbers, we took the decision to designate the Ghana card number as the tax identification number. So immediately you get a Ghana card, your number is also your tax identification number. In doing this, we increased the percentage of adults with tax identification numbers from 4% to 86% in one go. And this is only going to get higher by the end of next year. So at the end of the year, we can tell who has filed their taxes and who has not filed their taxes. We can also tell where those who haven't filed their taxes live, because we have your digital addresses. Then we looked for, because one of the big challenges is the process of filing taxes. So we wanted to digitalize the tax filing process. Many people, including highly educated people, find the process of filing taxes complex. To make it easier and less cumbersome to file taxes, I challenged the GRA last year to come up with a very simple to use mobile application. So enable ordinary people to file and pay taxes using their mobile phones. And I am happy to announce that the GRA has completed the mobile app for the filing of taxes. The mobile tax filing application is available on the Ghana.gov mobile app, which is, I said, is available on Google Play Store as well as the Apple App Store. The tax filing mobile app has been designed specifically to make the filing of taxes simple. Once you sign in, you will be asked a number of simple questions. You won't even think you are filing taxes. You'll be asked just a number of simple questions and you will answer those questions. And once you finish answering the questions, you could press the send button and then it will go and come back with a calculation of the tax that you owe or the refund that is due you. Right on your mobile phone. And once you know what your tax liability is, you can proceed to pay using mobile money, the QR code, Ghana Link, or whatever other source that you have available there. You will receive, after payment, an electronic receipt of your tax payment, and you can also apply for and obtain an electronic tax clearance certificate. So we are really digitizing the process of domestic revenue mobilization. Ladies and gentlemen, then we looked at the property tax issue and how we can digitalize the collection of property taxes. Most property owners in Ghana do not pay property taxes. Many do not even receive bills to pay taxes. Tax is paid on only 9% of properties in Ghana. And some people who also collect taxes pocket the money. This is because we lack the key elements to implement and monitor an effective property tax regime. An effective property tax regime requires that we are able to identify all properties, assess the value of all properties, identify and maintain a property owners database, send property tax bills to the owners, and enforce the payment of taxes. Thanks to the implementation of the National ID, the National Digital Property Address System, the Mobile Money Interoperability, and Ghana.gov projects, Ghana now has the infrastructure to implement a property tax system. We have been working on this over the last 2 years, and thanks to the hard work of the ministers for local government and rural development, as well as the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, with support from the Minister of Finance and the Lands Commission, we have finally developed a national common platform for property tax administration for Ghana, which will operate across all the MMDAs in Ghana. The platform is integrated, as I said, with the NIA database, the Digital Property Address System, and the Ghana.gov platform. Homeowners will be able to receive their property tax bills, pay their taxes, and receive receipts on their mobile phones. The platform is ready and is expected to be implemented by the Ministry of Local Government in 2022. Digitalization, ladies and gentlemen, has therefore helped government for the first time to put in place a robust and broad-based vehicle for domestic tax collection. And this has eluded us since independence. We now turn to the issue of improving healthcare delivery and how has digitalization helped us in this area. Before government commenced its systematic digitalization of medical records at the public health facilities, all records, as you can see, this is an example of medical records in a hospital. All records and documents were paper-based. The process of locating patient files was cumbersome, and documents sometimes were misplaced or misfiled. This caused delays and inefficiencies in the delivery of health services and the reluctance of some sick people to visit public health facilities. We have embarked on the connection of health facilities under the Ghana Health Service onto one digital platform. So far, all teaching hospitals and all regional hospitals have been connected and can talk to each other. 36 health facilities in the central region have also been connected to the digital platform. The process for other hospitals is ongoing, and we expect the process to be completed by next year. So now, if you are referred from a hospital like Tamale Teaching Hospital to Kolebu Teaching Hospital in Accra, you do not need to carry your folder from Tamale to Accra. All your records will be seen and monitored by the doctor in Kolebu when you arrive. Patients will just have one digital folder wherever they go, whichever hospital they go, and nobody can tell you your folder is missing. This effort has increased efficiency, effectiveness, and productivity in service delivery by our health facilities, eliminating the need for the queues and delays, and also increasing access to health care by those who need it most. Ladies and gentlemen, digitizing the operations of the National Health Insurance Authority has also helped reduce fraudulent claims. And the renewal of all national health insurance registrations used to take place at various National Health Insurance Authority district offices. People had to go and queue at the offices to renew their national health insurance registrations. And this took days for many people in the districts. They used to come and sleep outside these offices just to renew their national health insurance registrations. These delays hampered the operations and limited the revenue streams of the NHIA. But following digitization, renewal of health insurance registration now is via mobile phone. And all you need to do is dial *929# and you'll get in there, pay your registration, and renewal is instantly done for you. This has led to an increase in renewals by 70%, while new registrations have also increased by 41% per annum. Ladies and gentlemen, hospitals and clinics in remote and largely rural communities have difficulty in getting medical supplies, especially in times of emergencies involving, for example, snake bites, childbirth, blood supplies, floods, and so on. Many lives in our rural and remote communities are needlessly lost because people are unable to access critically needed medical supplies on time. To address this problem, Ghana opted to partner Zipline, the world's largest automated on-demand delivery service for medical supplies. Ghana was the second country in Africa, after Rwanda, to implement the delivery of medical supplies through drones. There are 4 Zipline distribution centers currently in Omenako, Mpanya, Vopsi, Sefiwioso. And these 4 centers deliver about, on average, they do 100 flights a day. This December, we will add 2 more centers at Enum in the eastern region to cover all of the Afram Plains and 90% of the Volta region. And then we'll add a center in Ketikrachi, which will cover Oti region, and 3 districts in Bono East and Northeast Gonja district of Savannah. The next 2 drone centers will be in Funsi in the Upper West region and Kintampo in the Bono region in 2022. And this will bring Zipline drone coverage to virtually all of Ghana by the end of 2022. I should add that Ghana, our country Ghana, has the largest medical drone delivery service in the world. In the world. What is even more impressive is that the drone centers, the drone centers are 100% manned by talented young Ghanaians. 100%. They are the flight operators and everything. And it is really a sight to behold when you see them in action. Many lives have been saved as a result of medical drones. Interestingly, the US government has only recently contracted Zipline to also start delivery of medical supplies by drones in the United States, after Ghana and Rwanda have taken the lead. Leveraging on the National Digital Property Address System, Zipline is also set to begin delivery of medicines to homes by the end of this year. For the bedridden, because there are certain patients who are bedridden. They cannot leave home, they may not have any help. Some patients may be cut off by floods. But because of the Digital Property Address System, Zipline is now able to deliver and drop your medicine right in your home, not only in the hospital. And that service will start before the end of this year. And this will be the first such home delivery by drones of medical supplies anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. Then we wanted to digitize the pharmacies, the e-pharmacy. Ladies and gentlemen, patients or people generally face difficulties when trying to find medicines in pharmacies. They have no way of knowing which pharmacies have the drugs before they go. They could go to 5 pharmacies before they are lucky of finding the drugs. Sometimes patients are directed to go to specific pharmacies to buy the medicine, denying them any advantage there may be from choosing a lower price shop. People also don't know what the prices of the medicine at the different pharmacies are. And they are, in their time of vulnerability, they are just happy to pay whatever is asked at the pharmacy where they find the drug. It is also difficult to tell whether the medicines are genuine or fake. And there's also a drug abuse with drugs such as prescription drugs such as tramadol. To address this problem, government challenged the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana to digitalize the operations of pharmacies in Ghana. Following this and working with the Pharmacy Council in collaboration with the private sector, I'm glad to say that we have completed work on a digital platform for all pharmacies in Ghana. And currently the pilot of 45 pharmacies is taking place. And basically the e-pharmacy platform will offer the opportunity for everyone through a mobile phone to upload your prescriptions and find out which pharmacies near you have the medicines. Secondly, you can compare the prices of the same drug offered by different pharmacies. You can sit in your home, choose the pharmacy you want to buy the drug from, order it, pay for it, and it will be delivered in your home without you visiting the pharmacy. The e-pharmacy will also help us address the problem of drug abuse. Those who are prescribed the medicines, controlled medicines like tramadol, for example, will no longer receive a paper prescription. They will be sent a one-time code via SMS. And once the prescription is uploaded, and it will be used only once at the pharmacies. Thankfully, the e-pharmacy will be launched before the end of this year, and this will make Ghana, I'm so proud of this, this will make Ghana the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to have a national scale e-pharmacy, and only one of the few countries in the world with a national scale e-pharmacy. I would like to thank the Pharmacy Council, the Ghanaian private partners for being very proactive in meeting the deadlines we have set them. Now to the education sector. To make our education sector, to make sure our education sector is not left out of the digital revolution, we're providing free Wi-Fi to our senior high schools. We've provided free Wi-Fi to 710 senior high schools in Ghana. 710 senior high schools in Ghana. 46 colleges of education, 260 district education offices, and 13 public universities. We've also provided teachers with 350,000 laptops. 350,000 teachers have been provided laptops under the one teacher, one laptop policy. So for teachers, the writing of lesson notes into notebooks is over. Because the curriculum materials are already installed on the laptops. Our next goal, ladies and gentlemen, is to provide tablets to high school students. And we have started working with publishers, and the idea is to pre-load all the tablets that we will provide the students with all the required textbooks so that we don't have to keep buying textbooks, and they can have them digitally available on their tablets for learning. How is digitalization addressing the public security and safety? In many advanced countries, the pervasiveness of CCTV cameras imposes some restraint on potential criminals. You are likely to be caught if you break the law. This is why we have installed 10,000 CCTV cameras since 2017. The cameras are monitored from 3 command centers in Accra, Kumasi, and Tamale. And the cameras actually have helped the police to solve a number of crimes, such as the arrest of the suspects in a recent bullion van robbery. At the beginning of 2017, Ghana, we only had 800 CCTV cameras, and now we have installed 10,000. In operation. Ladies and gentlemen, the key to building a data-based economy is not only in generating data, but it is even more important that the data does not sit in silos. The data should be integrated. This is a problem that currently exists in many advanced economies because they have built systems over the years, but they have not been able to integrate them. This problem we have sought to address. Ghana has, however, the opportunity in coming late into the game to integrate the databases that we have generated from our ongoing digitalization process. In this regard, we are integrating the National ID database with other databases such as passports, SNIT, NHIS, Ghana Revenue Authority, bank accounts, DVLA, SIM cards, mobile money accounts, the Controller and Accountant General's Department, the Registrar General's Department, births and deaths, the Police CID, Ghana.gov. We are creating a centralized, integrated database. The integration of the databases will bring transparency and discipline and efficiency into our economy and society, and will also help law enforcement track down criminals. With a proper protection of privacy as provided by the Data Protection Act, employers, for example, should be able to do an online background check on prospective employees. It will also be much more difficult under this centralized integrated database. It will be much more difficult for people to avoid paying tax. Also, the police can easily tell fake vehicle registration, driver's license, and so on. With the integration of the NIA database and government payroll, ghost workers will be history. Furthermore, once completed, there should really be no need for workers to go and provide their biometrics for payroll or pension either at the Controller and Accountant General or SNIT. The TIN and the SNIT number are now the Ghana card number. So it makes sense that we have one unique number for all workers at the Controller and Accountant General Department. The SIM cards database is also being integrated with the NIA database. Apart from the demands of the law, it also makes sense to register and link our SIM cards with the Ghana card because most people use mobile money. Mobile money is now susceptible to money laundering, and therefore we need a credible KYC, know your customer requirement. Because, as I said, the mobile money account functions like a bank account. The system we are building will make it easier for individuals to obtain loans because it provides lenders sufficient information about borrowers. Banks also know that the borrower cannot just disappear in the system. This is why today, government no longer requires a guarantor for student loans if a student has a Ghana card. Because we know you cannot disappear. You will be somewhere in the database. The system will also help reduce interest rates on loans because it will make the Credit Reference Bureau more effective and allow banks to distinguish the risk levels of various borrowers. Ladies and gentlemen, going forward, we are on schedule to digitalize the operations of the Lands Commission to make it easier to acquire, transfer, and register land. We are also going to formalize the agricultural sector by registering all cocoa farmers and their farms, as well as labeling the cocoa from each farm to enable tracing. This work is about 40% complete. Next year, we will also do the same for food crop farmers with a target to digitalize fertilizer distribution, and work on this is ongoing. We are also going to formalize the fisheries sector by registering all fishermen and digitalize the distribution of premixed fuel. The operations of the school feeding program are also being digitalized to enhance its efficiency as well as facilitate monitoring. It is expected that work on the digitalization of the school feeding program will be completed by the end of this year. And this will mean there will be no ghost schools or ghost children. We are acutely aware, ladies and gentlemen, that we must pay attention to cybersecurity. Ghana's Cybersecurity Act has become necessary because of the rapid digitalization of the economy coupled with the high rate of cyber crimes and other cybersecurity incidents in the country. The Cybersecurity Act will promote the development of cybersecurity and regulate cybersecurity activities in Ghana. Thanks to the hard work of the Minister for Communications and Digitalization and Ghana's cybersecurity team, Ghana's cybersecurity ranking is now 89.6% compared to 32% in 2017. So we are improving cybersecurity. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, my presentation shows that under the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, we are building as a matter of policy a new system as the foundation to drive overall transformation of the economy, how we conduct our economic relations and how we govern ourselves. Digitalization is the key instrument of transformation. To do this, we first needed to build the tools of digital transformation. Our principal operational tools, or our enablers, which every Ghanaian must have in their hands or must have access to, are the national ID card, a digital address, mobile money interoperability, universal QR code, and when the central bank brings it up, the digital currency. Step by step, we are applying these enablers to innovate many areas in our everyday economic activities and interactions with businesses and with our access to public services such as the passports, ports, and so on. The new system is the engine block of our development. We are building this new system because it has the following attributes. It positions us to be globally competitive in the emerging digital revolution. It is a system based on integrated centralized data, and it's a system that codifies the unique identification of every member of our society, the addresses of all properties and locations. It is inclusive. It's a system that makes for greater transparency, promotes accountability and efficiency in every aspect of public interaction. It is a system that minimizes incentives to pay bribes and opportunities for corruption in the delivery of public services. It is a system where the operations of government institutions are digitized for efficient delivery. It is a system that is formalizing the informal sector, a system that has broadened the tax base and built a vehicle for domestic revenue mobilization, a system which enables the work. Hello? A system which enables the workings of an effective credit reference bureau, and a system which facilitates equitable access by all Ghanaians to healthcare and education. Ladies and gentlemen, the reasons things appear to work in the developed countries as much as they do is largely because many of these attributes of a good society are in place, and they are working to innovate on them. They have the systems that elicit honesty, transparency, and accountability. These are what we are putting in place in Ghana. It has taken political will on the part of government to put these systems in place. The status quo benefits the few to the detriment of the many. Further, there is little immediate political benefit from implementing these innovations. It takes some time for the full benefits of digitalization to become obvious to many and manifest in our lives. Politicians generally cannot afford to wait. The infrastructure we have put in place for digitalization is soft infrastructure. It is not like a road or a bridge you can point to, but it is powerful and expanded as you can see with this soft infrastructure it is a powerful and expanded highway for development. It really takes leadership to think far and know that I don't want to base policy on the present, but I want to base policy on the future. And in implementing the soft infrastructure and all the pillars for digitalization, the government of Nana Akufo-Addo has in fact shown a lot of leadership. It is important, ladies and gentlemen, to note that Ghana's digital transformation has largely been undertaken without foreign aid. Rather, we have partnered with the Ghanaian IT private sector to finance the various initiatives rather than a wholly public sector exercise. It was a deliberate decision because the private sector and the public sector have different incentives. The private sector makes money when systems they manage work. Otherwise, they will go out of business. We have partnered with the private sector to make sure Ghana does not go out of the business of progress. Ghana must remain an efficient and productive going concern. The private sector will enforce that discipline if it has its skin in the game. Having put together these large databases as a result of digitalization, our focus will now turn entirely to data analytics through big data, artificial intelligence, machine learning, to provide solutions to the many challenges we have. We will leverage on the progress we have made with digitalization to drive innovation for the youth. The jobs of the future are just beginning to emerge. Prepare yourself and be part of the drivers of innovation. We have to enhance access to the internet for sure and lower the cost of the internet. In this regard, we are making progress. Internet penetration currently stands at 50% compared to 26% in 2017. And we are working to further increase internet access in the rural areas. Our progress in digital transformation justifies the vision of the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, that Ghana should benchmark itself against the best in the world and move away from the dependency mentality to a can-do attitude. Thanks to the vision of the President and the cooperation and the hard work of our ministers, heads of agencies across many sectors, we have accomplished a lot in 5 years. We are not yet where we want to be, but we have made a great start, and there is a lot more to come. There is also more to be done to embed these major digital reforms in the everyday lives of Ghanaians as the adoption and usage of digital technology increases. We have put in place new systems, and we should all commit to adopt them and utilize them for maximum impact in the coming years. Ladies and gentlemen, I am excited about the prospects of the nation we are building, the brilliant minds being nurtured who are contributing towards this vision. We must allow our mindset to build our courage that we can be amongst the best in the world at anything. Some of our senior high schools are winning world robotic competitions. Ashesi is also a world-class university established by a visionary Ghanaian. The digital revolution is a youth-driven revolution. It is your revolution. And I look forward to all of you playing a role in making our nation great and strong. Thank you for your attention. God bless you, and God bless our homeland, Ghana.
Thank you very much. Wow. That is brilliant.
Thank you.
Astonishing progress. And I just want to thank you for your leadership in this very transformative agenda in digitizing our economy. I'm just blown away by just how much progress has happened, actually.
Thank you.
And I came this evening with a lot of questions, and your presentation has answered a lot of them. So I'm going to be... So I'm going to ask you just a few questions and then turn it over to students.
Okay.
I know that we have students from other universities. I think University of Ghana is here as well. And so when I turn to students, when you come up to the mic, please state your name, what university you're from, and then you can ask your question. Please be brief in your questions as well. So the first question, Your Excellency, that I have, just listening to what you just presented to us and just how vast this is, what you're trying to do, and how much progress. It's very clear that you're quite passionate about this, right? And I wonder, is there some personal story? Is there something that has made you so passionate about this issue to move so forcefully in this area?
Thank you very much, Patrick. I think that, first of all, I must say that I have a very passionate boss in the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And so he is very keen on us modernizing Ghana. This has been his vision, and he's given me the opportunity to lead the whole digitalization agenda. I think that growing up, I was born in Tamale, and you see what opportunities, if were available to people who are deprived, I mean, not only in Tamale, but not across different parts of Ghana. You could see that if you could make opportunities available to all and have a more inclusive society, a lot more people, some of my mates who could not go further in school, for example, were very brilliant. A personal story that I have, which maybe I have not shared, September 2002, was in Tamale Hospital, and my father had undergone an operation, and Tamale Teaching Hospital, they needed blood. And we came out trying to find blood for my old man. At that time of day, the stores were locked. The person where the blood was not there. We were calling doctors all over trying to find this person. By the time the person arrived to the office and we actually got the blood, my father had died. Now, so when I met Zipline in Silicon Valley, I took a team from Ghana to Silicon Valley, the IT firms, and we looked at different technologies, and I met the head of Zipline. And then he started telling me the Zipline story and how they can deliver different things like blood and so on. Immediately he talked about blood, I remembered the issues that I had gone through with trying to find blood. And I thought to myself, if only we had a service like Zipline at that time in September 2002, maybe my father would not have died. We could have called Zipline to drop the blood and then he would have been saved. And so I was very passionate in asking Zipline to come to Ghana and to set up the service in Ghana because there was, yes, a personal story behind it for me. It was very important to save a lot of mothers at childbirth, a lot of people with snake bites, the vaccines and so on. So yes, I am driven by trying to create an inclusive Ghana, and digitization is the best way to bring people to access services in Ghana. So I really, if you want to fight corruption, it is the best way to do so. Education, health, agriculture, and so on. So I think I'm very driven, as the president is, to make sure that we can provide Ghanaians opportunities to progress and to develop.
Well, thank you very much for sharing that story. One thing I'm struck by, and really thank you for sharing that story, is there have been quite a few times where I encountered people who they've experienced something difficult, and you start to talk with them about the solution, and they say, well, but this is Ghana, it can't be done. And so thank you for taking that tragedy and moving us to do something about it. And I hope our students here are taking note of this story and what you can do when you have a personal pain or you have a personal difficulty, that you should think about how do you solve the problem for others and for our society at large. So my next question is, if you could wave a magic wand and something would happen at institutions like this in higher education in the country to further this agenda that you have with the president, what would it be? What is it that we should be doing more of? Tomorrow when I wake up, I call my team and say, let's go do this thing.
Right. I think that one of the things that we have found out in the context of digital transformation is how brilliant, how talented our people are. As I told you, almost all the digital transformation initiatives that we have been implemented locally by Ghanaians. And so we have the talent here, we have the expertise here, and in the universities, you have very, very brilliant minds. And what we should be doing is turning our attention to the problems and how we can be a part of the solution of those problems. We've put in place a lot of enablers, a lot of tools. Now we need to innovate and build on those enablers. And I think that for higher education I think we should be challenging you more to come out with solutions and practical solutions to problems that we are facing as a country. This is a place where, for any inquisitive mind, it's a real, area, because there are a lot of problems. And so if you set out to deal with solutions, this is where we think you should be pushing the students. Yeah.
We would love to do that, and one of the things that has worked really well elsewhere is when the government puts out a challenge and says there's a problem we want to solve and makes a call for research and innovation to solve that problem and provides the funding to drive it. So we would love to partner with the government in doing more of that. But so I'm going to switch to the students in just a minute. One question I have, you mentioned that, just my final question, that a lot of Ghanaians built these systems. Is there work that the government can do with these companies so they can export those solutions?
Yes, I think that is, in fact, I believe is going to happen. I have heard, for example, that the company that built the digital address system is being contacted by other African countries to help build the digital address system. And I have no doubt that, companies like those that have put together the Ghana.gov platform and the tax application, I think in this context, can export all of that knowledge and share that knowledge, and they can make some reasonable returns from all of that intellectual property that they have built in Ghana. So we are very, very happy to support the private sector to do more and to export all this talent and all these innovations to other countries.
Ready? Are there any questions from the students? I will start with the mic on the left here, on my left. So just come up. Don't be shy. So your name, your institution, and then a brief question for the Vice President.
Awesome. My name is Tobias Echowood. I happen to be the Ashesi Student Council President, and I am privileged to be here at this point in time.
Three at a time.
Thank you so much for everything. I am truly amazed by everything that you've covered. And there are some of the things that came to mind which I was hoping to get the time to ask you about. With regards to some of the major points that you put out in terms of data access, as well as digitizing the economy with regards to the digital address system, I wanted to find out what are the plans with regards to infrastructure meeting the ideals, specifically education and transportation. If we are able to educate the Ghanaian community on what is being available, as you've done for us here and now, but the educational facilities are not able to live up to the vision. Transportation, if we're able to sort it out for the digital networks, roads, for instance. Essentially, on behalf of the Ashesi community, I wanted to ask, what are the plans for infrastructure to support the vision that you have shared with us? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Tobias. He was not shy at all. Very good questions. I think that, there are two issues that Tobias has raised: education and transportation and infrastructure in relation to that. Of course, as I said earlier, that in terms of education, we are very much trying to make sure that there's a digitalization going on that allows access of everybody to material, whether you are from the less advantaged or the more advantaged areas. Everybody should have access to the material, and this is why we've provided a free Wi-Fi to the schools. We're providing to we have provided laptops to the teachers. Thank you. And we are also providing the opportunities to have all of these things disseminated in terms of tablets to the students as well. In the area of infrastructure, there's a whole lot of work that is going on infrastructure, especially roads. But I know that you are very concerned about the road that I just came on. I know that is your biggest concern. And it is almost very sad coming to this world-class university on a very Saito road. So when I was on this road, I called and I was talking to Patrick earlier. I knew that he would ask me because we've talked about it earlier. So I called the Minister for Roads to confirm. I'm very happy to tell you that the procurement for the construction of the road is going on, and the minister tells me so he assures me, and this is a Kuwait-funded project, and he assures me that you will see work starting next year on your road. So that is the answer to the road. But it's not just this road. We are doing a lot of roads in the country, and we expect to improve infrastructure in that context.
Okay, can we take another question? I'll take three from the left, and then I'll move to the right. So go ahead.
My name is Osei Chene, Ashesi University. My first question is, disruptive technologies have a way of upsetting everything when it comes to traditional businesses. In this digital drive, how are you equipping local businessmen and local industries to stay competitive? I would like to give an example. I can just sit at home and then order a ride on my phone But then, previously, I would have to maybe walk to a taxi rank or stand by the roadside to hail a taxi. So how are you building the capacities of local businessmen and local businesses to stay competitive in the digital drive? And permit me to also add this, it's more of a comment than a question. Lastly,
we only have 30 minutes, so I want to be fair. So you get one question. So just one question. I'm going to be quite strict about it. We only have 30 minutes. So, Mr. Vice President.
Thank you very much. I think from what we have discussed this evening so far, the support for local businesses is very, very strong, as you will see that, as I said, many of the digitalization projects are being undertaken by local businesses. Like you call and then the ride will come and pick you up using the digital address system. But this digital address system was built by a local firm in Dansoman, and the young group of guys and girls who put this together. And it's a very interesting story. When Ghana set out to have a digital address system, we did an international competition. I mean, we looked for systems globally. And we were blown away when the local firm presented their solution. It was the best of the lot. And we were just blown away that we were looking globally for something which was sitting in Dansuma. And it was very, very important. So we think that we are empowering the local business community. We are bringing down the cost of borrowing. As you can see, as I told you, the Bank of Ghana is doing very well in this regard. And we are hoping to bring down, and we are reducing risks but in terms of lending to local businesses. So we are trying to do well to empower local businesses.
Okay, one more from the...
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Hi. Hello.
Hello?
you can go ahead.
Hello.
Can we turn on this mic here?
Can I ask my question?
No, I'll have the lady ask her question, please.
So my name is Abigail Yaira Asafo, and I'm the Judicial and Electoral Council Chairperson at Ashesi University. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. So my question is, if we have more digitalization, some people's work are likely to become redundant. And in that case, what is the government currently doing to make sure that though we have more digitalization, people are not going to be unemployed and there will be something else for them to do? Thank you.
Can you give...
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Abigail. You survived all the challenges. You know, this is a great question that Abigail has asked about the link between digitalization and joblessness. And I've always said that there is a very big difference between a developing country like Ghana and the more advanced economies when we come to talk about the impact of digitalization on jobs. I believe, and the data seems to show, and I talked about some of the evidence.
I'll get it. I hope that's working now.
I think so, it's working.
Okay.
Thank you very much. My name is Seth Safo. I am an academic at the School of Mathematical Sciences at Legon. I'm into mathematical finance and analytics.
Now, I have a question, but it is a form of a prescription to the Vice President. Now, data is about people, and data has value in socioeconomic impacts of policies we make. Now, just imagine you had a tool which allowed you to see the impact of your policies before you put them in place. Okay? Now, I'm actually prescribing here that, will you mind a proposal to support a center of excellence for data science and analytics in an institution like the University of Ghana, specifically at the Maths Department, where where you will be sharing in knowledge creation and sort of disseminating sort of government policies through the education of the youth, and also getting the requisite skills as we move forward. We are now going to be creating data, but we need the expertise to actually derive and leverage what the data will be bringing us. And I want you to consider this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. I think that you have hit really the nail on the head. We are putting together all this data, but we cannot allow the data to just sit there. Data without being able to analyze the data doesn't really produce any information. But we want informative data. And this is why I was telling you that having put together all this data, our next step now going forward is to see how we can apply data analytics, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and so on, to be able to have some information coming out of the data. And Seth is proposing that we look at his department and collaborate to set up a center of excellence, and they may be able to help us build a very analytical framework to be able to tell us what the impact of certain policies would be. Now, I'm very, very excited about that, Seth, and I think that when we leave here, make an appointment to see me and we can have a discussion. Yeah.
Hello.
Next question on the right.
I think it's a great honor to listen to all the pantheon of elements that have been put in place to make sure that our economy is being digitalized. I only have a question. According to the Global Broadband and Innovations Program, less than 5% of rural inhabitants in our country have access to internet. Then also, about only 19% of men in our country use internet, with about 9% of women on the internet. My question is that we know that driving our economy through digitalization would need a lot of people being on the internet specifically. I want to know if there is any initiative that is being put in place to make sure that a lot of people now get access to internet, especially the older people of our economy, so that they can also get onto the internet and then participate in this digitalization. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. You've raised a very important issue, and it has to do with the digital divide in our country. You have the rural areas where internet penetration is clearly low. As I mentioned during my remarks, that overall internet penetration has increased from around 26% to 50%, but we still have a lot more to do in the rural areas. So we have a specific project that the Ministry for Communications and Digitalization is implementing that is focused on internet penetration in the rural areas. And therefore we are hoping to bridge the gap in that context. Beyond that, I think if you look at all the digitalization projects that we are trying to do, we want to make sure that people who don't have smartphones and therefore don't have internet connectivity and don't have smartphones or internet connectivity are still able to access services through USSD code, so that you dial some star ## number and then you can
go through and get your service. But ultimately, the idea for us is to make sure that internet penetration goes across the country, both the rural and the urban areas, so that the rural people